Yo, and hello, everybody. Mike here, baseball collector, and I'm coming at you from my vacation. And I'll be back really soon, but I just saw that the calendar had rolled over, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the National is only a few weeks away. And I really wanted to do, at the encouragement of some other people, kind of some tips and tricks for what to do and look for at the National and how to be, and just some different cool things to think about as we all get ready to go to the National. Of course, I'll be there, and I'm really excited. I've got them written down here, so I'm going to look over because I can't remember everything. I wrote this long thing with all these tips and tricks, and so I want to share them with you. And let me know in the comments below what you think. If you have any other tips or things you want other guys to know, write them down there, and we'll just kind of get this party started, because I'm super stoked about the National, and mainly about meeting a bunch of new YouTubers and just having a great time with you guys. So here are Mike's thoughts about the National, some tips and tricks. Remember that this is just a hobby. Take an amount that you can afford, and it's not gonna, put you in a financial bind, and stick to your budget. It's so easy to overspend at the National because there's so much there. I would tell you, just be prudent about it, and remember that cash is king. So if you have cash, that's the way to go. Dealers usually make better deals if it's cash, and if you use a credit card, most of the time they'll charge you the extra fee that they have to pay, which can be around 3% or so. As soon as you get there, my recommendation is to walk the floor as much as you can when you get there. You really want to get a good lay of the land, and you want to find out where the good wax dealers are if that's your thing. You want to find out where the card companies are set up if you're going to be doing redemptions or pack breaks and group breaks and all the different things. You want to just find out where they are. If you're doing autographs, find out where all of that stuff happens with a TriStar Pavilion and all that. And most importantly, find out where the restrooms are, because the last thing you want to be doing is not knowing where the restroom is and you need to go. Carry a water bottle or some other kind of beverage, because you're cruising along, you're looking through some awesome dollar box, and you're got your roll going, and then you have to go get a drink because you're thirsty or something. Just stay hydrated, keep it with you, always have something with you. And carry a backpack, for crying out loud, or some kind of bag, because you don't want to be walking around like carrying boxes and singles and sets and whatever you're going to be buying. Slabs for me, right? Next up, know what cards are selling for. If you go into this blind and haven't looked up recent eBay sales of the cards you're really targeting, then you're making a mistake, because a lot of dealers scoff when you mention, hey, this only sells for X on eBay. They get kind of pissed because they don't sell on eBay, they sell in person. And so basically, don't be rude about it, but if it's a price that you don't like, then, or if you can get it cheaper on eBay, don't overpay just because it's the National. Just buy it later when you get home. Next tip. Never ever pay what a dealer is asking for on the sticker. Negotiate everything. And, they're there to sell cards. The dealers want to move items. So make them give you their best price. Like, ask them what, you can say, like, what's your best price on this, or how low can you go on this? You don't have to be rude about it, but you can just say, look, basically you're communicating that this price isn't good enough, I'm not going to pay it. And then you'll know at least how much the dealer is willing to haggle. And from there, you can work on getting the card that you want for the price that you want. Be prepared to walk away. That's another huge thing. Unless it's a one of one or something, you're going to be able to find the card somewhere else. So he doesn't have that monopoly on whatever card you're looking for, especially if it's hot rookies and prospect cards like that. There's others around. So if you're not going to get a price you want, then just walk away. I've had dealers literally chase me down the aisle when I've walked away after offering some ridiculously low price, and they're like, no, screw you, basically. I walk away and they chase me down the aisle and go, okay, I'll do it. And they will accept my offer, and then I'll get the card that I want for the price that I want. Now, this is going to sound completely contradictory to my last tip, but when you're at the National and you find a great deal, do not leave that table without that card, because a really good deal is going to be sniffed out by other dealers, or maybe even other dealers, and certainly other collectors. So if you think, oh, I'll come get that later, and it's a really, really good deal, later might not happen because somebody else will snatch that card up. And so just don't pass up on a just unbelievable deal. Don't think, well, I'll take care of that later. Don't procrastinate that. Have a checklist of what you want. Again, the National is totally overwhelming in terms of number of tables and confusion and things everywhere. Have a checklist. You need to have a game plan when you go of what cards you're looking for. And mark things off as you get them, and that will hopefully keep you from buying them accidentally. Think, oh, well, I wouldn't buy a card twice. Oh, you might. I'm telling you, it is that, especially over multiple days, if you're going to be there all week, you forget what you bought on Wednesday by Friday. And so just make sure that you're checking things off a list. Have a list, keeps you focused, and you can check it off. And with that, having a checklist, that means you need to have a pen and paper, not just to mark things off the list, but you need to make sure that as you find cards that you're looking for, that you can bring them to, that you find cards that you're looking for, that you can look for who that dealer is. If you want to come back later, you want to mark down their booth number, their name, maybe even get a business card and write it on there. Just something to remember where you need to be going later to find that card. If you're leaving or something and coming back, going to lunch, whatever, write stuff down. So-and-so had a blah, 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 and I'm going to come back later and buy that from them. So have a pen and paper ready to do that and take notes. Take really good notes. Another thing, try to get there Wednesday. I know a lot of people can't be at the National every day. In fact, I'm only going Wednesday through Friday. I'm not even staying through the weekend. But if you can get there and on Wednesday, it's really great, because Wednesday, the sneak preview night, gives you a leg up on the competition. You get to check things out. Everybody has everything, because by the further along the show goes, more and more stuff gets sold. And so there's just less inventory available for you to look through. Wednesday night, you get there. Dealers are less willing to haggle. They're less inclined to come down on their price, but that doesn't mean you still can't find really good deals. And if you're really looking for that PC card that you're just dying to find, you don't really care what price it is, Wednesday, make sure you can find it. But you have everything to choose from. To that other side of that, if you're there on Sunday, be there early that day, because a lot of dealers will close up shop early and head home, because they've been there all week and they're exhausted and they just like, ugh. But on Sunday, dealers are more willing to haggle, I think, and make better deals, because it's been a long week and they don't want to carry all this crap home. So just lots of amazing deals can happen on Sunday. Another great tip, catch a game if you're in wherever you are. This year it's in Cleveland, and the Indians are in town. They usually schedule the National for when wherever the local baseball team is in town. And you should take advantage of that. Go to a game, take some friends. It's just a fun time. See a different ballpark maybe that you haven't seen before. Even if you've been there, check out what's new and just have a great time at a ballpark. Don't be rude. And I mean that really to everyone in terms of who you're interacting with. But I think with dealers, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Be friendly. Be complimentary of their setup and their table, and just say nice things, because it'll soften them up for when you're ready to buy something at their table, and you can maybe get a little bit better deal. It never hurts to be nice. And so that's my tip for that. My last tip, and this has been going about exactly as long as I wanted it to, so I'm going to sum it up with this. If you see me at the National, see this right here, come up and say hi. I'd love to meet you. I'm going to have some cards that I'm going to sign, some customs that I did of me, and would love to give you one, and just would love to meet you. Love to meet the people that follow me on my channel, and I really appreciate you guys. So there you go. Those are my tips and tricks for the National 2018. Hope to see everybody there. It's coming up really soon, and I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day, and keep collecting.